Hey, everybody. It's Deborah Korn and Kelly Marazi, who you'll see in a second here. And we wanted to talk to you about two amazing things coming up for Girls Who Print. The first is Women's Print Herstory Month, which coincides with Women's History Month in March to align the storytelling that empowers and inspires the fierce, fabulous females of print and the young women and students entering the industry or considering print as a career. Our mission is to generate worldwide visibility for women in the industry through this initiative. Last year, we generated more than 450,000 impressions. And you can see all those submissions on the blog at girlswhoprint.net. There's a link in the show notes. This year, in support of the United Nations International Women's Day theme of Invest in Women, we're calling upon the girls who print around the world to share the investments you have made in your careers and personal and professional development through a Q&A we provide on the website. Kelly, this is our sixth Print Herstory Month.
It's hard to believe that we've been doing it for this long, but I'm really excited to be a part of it again this year. And it's really important, Deb, that people understand that even if you've shared your story before, even if you've answered the question, it's important that you do it again because we always are asking fresh questions, and your story is going to land on the eyes and ears of somebody who hasn't seen it before. So, every woman out there, share your story with us this year.
I actually want to focus on you because you really did make an investment several years ago on increasing your visibility and your profile out in the interwebs and the social media and the world. How has that paid off for you?
Well, in terms of personal branding, I think a lot of people have come to expect videos from me and, kind of expect to see me in different spaces. I'm always glad to be attending events in person and certainly online. And Girls Who Print is a huge part of that for me, due to obviously winning the Girly Award last year. That definitely kind of upped my profile, which was one of the great honors of my entire life. And I'm not even kidding when I say that. Um, so, constantly being out there talking about things, especially mentorship, especially, trying to attract younger people to the industry. These are things that I'm just deeply passionate about. So I'm just going to keep talking about them.
I'm really glad that you brought up, just because you've done it once doesn't mean you can't do it again. I've done it for 6 years. I think you've done it for 6 years, and you're right. Each year has a different topic, but the thing that powers this is actually the empowerment of it. Being able to share your own story, your perspective, not only with just all the women, the 10,000 plus women in the Girls Who Print group and our community, but letting the industry know, hey, I'm here and this is what I do, and this is how I help people, and this is why it's important this year to also turn that around on why the industry should be supporting women. They say they want to support women, but I feel that unless we raise our hand and say, "Here I am," that it's harder to be recognized on so many different levels. I know you have strong thoughts on this. Please share them with everybody and let's encourage some submissions.
I think there's a lot of women out there who think, well, I don't have anything special to say. And I'm here to tell you, and Deborah is here to tell you that you do. You have experience, you have thoughts and feelings, you have goals, right? There are things you want to accomplish in your life. No matter where you are in your career, there is a trajectory, and you have a tremendous amount of support and information and resources at your disposal with Girls Who Print, certainly. But there are a lot of people out there that need to hear about your experiences and your thoughts. And so everyone's voice matters in this. And we are only going to achieve the parity and the fairness that we want in this industry if you join us in this mission.
I completely agree with you. Early on, we used to talk about this all the time that, yes, of course, it's a male dominated industry. We need male allies everywhere. But scratching and clawing and fighting your way to get a seat at a table where you're asked to take the notes or do the invisible work isn't doesn't work anymore, and it's we now focus on making our own table where we are growing hiring managers and CEOs and people who will pay people fairly and allow them the work situation they need if they are responsible for childcare or any of the gender specific roles that society still has out there. And the only way it's going to happen is if we know who's out there, we know who to tap into. And the last thing I want to say about it is that you everybody out there has had some experience that I promise you will help somebody else in some manner, even if it's this is what to avoid, or this is how I went from here to here in 3 years, and this is how I made sure that I was seen, heard, and compensated from the value that I add to the company. And it might start with filling out a Q&A and getting your name out there. So please, everybody, do it. Also in March, Kelly, this year, for the first year, we are actually going to be producing an International Women's Day event. International Women's Day is on March 8th, and our event is online, so everybody from around the world can join us if you're in the right time zones. It's from 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. It's free, it's online. You can register to attend, or if you can't attend or you want the replays, early access, just sign up. Links are in the show notes. As I mentioned before, this year, the United Nations theme for International Women's Day is accelerate progress, invest in women. And that is going to be our focus, personal and professional investments women can make to have long and successful careers in the printing industry, and how can and should the industry invest in this mission too. I will be hosting a panel featuring Pat McGrew, first Girly Award winner, managing director of McGrew Group, Suchi Sarkar, was just at the chief marketing officer of Amazon. Now she's changed jobs again. She has an interesting pattern of her career. She's now the chief marketing officer at a company called LTI Mindtree. Rama Lakshmi Subramanian. I'm so sorry, RL. She lets us call her RL. This is a little inside information. She is our new regional director of Girls Who Print UK and Europe, which we are launching in March, and the VP of Technology and Strategic Services EMEA at a company called SGO Premedia. Karis Kopp, the owner of Karis Kopp Media. As long as we're having international, let's bring in our favorite Brit from Karis Kopp, who people should know from Girls Who Print. Yanfe Ibotoye, who's the regional director of Girls Who Print Africa and also the managing partner of a company called Print Street. She calls herself the billionaire printer. The stories that come out of Girls Who Print Africa, I can barely hold it together when I hear the amazing work that she does. And of course, last but not least, the 2023 Girly Award winner, sales coach to the stars, and my personal shiro, Kelly Malazzi. So Kelly, after the panel this year, we have planned an open discussion with attendees. And that is actually one of the things I'm looking forward to the most. Sometimes I'm a little weary about those open mics, but I think this topic is super important, and we really need to band together in this. If no one's going to invest in us, how are we going to invest in ourselves?
The lineup is astonishing in the amount of just street cred and energy and the global reach of it. And Deborah, that is one thing that I think you've been so intentional about across the last several years is helping us all, we're so US focused, help us all understand that there is really interesting, powerful print happening all over the world. And the open mic, while I understand the trepidation of anything can happen, anything can happen. And that's what's really exciting about it, right? Is that we are going to bounce ideas off of each other. There is going to be so much empowerment happening. And I don't use that term lightly. But we draw so much strength from one another, especially when it comes to the experiences, the ideas, and the plans for the future. This is what gets me really excited. And I am very honored, but also very excited about what I'm going to learn and what I can bring back to my communities when I participate in things like that. So I am just, as Deborah mentioned, the link to all of these things are in the show notes. These are free events. They are for everyone. And I can personally promise you, you will learn something and there will be actionable things that you will come away with that are going to transform how you're doing things today.
Thank you so much for your time. I just want to remind all the women out there, men, gentlemen too. We have a Girls Who Print store, so make sure you gear up for Women's Print Herstory Month. We actually have Women's Print Herstory Month swag up there specifically made for that, and of course, you can celebrate Girls Who Print all the through the year with your mug or your cell phone case or your shirt or whatever else. Christine Alexandra loves the flags, so don't overlook the flags. We have more stuff coming up to talk to you about. Kelly and I will be back to speak about the live in-person conference coming to the America's Print Show May 7th, May 8th and 9th. And until then, thank you so much for your time, Kelly. Empower along and prosper.